Okay, so there are three key points. First is comparative media studies, then second is comparative data study, and then comparative authorship and platform studies. So first we will see comparative media study. So comparative literature has been positively affected by the so-called visual turn of 20th century, opening the horizon of comparative literature and textual studies to the field of art, historical photography field, and perhaps to somewhat lesser extent television digital media offer a more fundamental challenge, since they not only transform the media assumption built into the work we traditionally study, but also the scholar environment that we inhabit, the analyze and technical tool that we employ to perform our research, and the platform we used to create and disseminate our work. The foregoing term was originally coined in 1965 by the visionary media theorist Theo Nelson in his early articulation of the conceptual infrastructure for the World Wide Web. So Nelson hypertext is a body of written or pictorial material interconnected in such a complex way that it would not conventionally be present or represent on a paper. Such a system could grow identifiably gradually, including more and more of the world written knowledge. And then Nelson called his invention the evolution list file. Then comparative literature be practiced when literature and scholarly work are created, exchanged, and critique in multimodal environment such as the web. Then we can see that comparative media study thus enable us to return to some of the most fundamental question of our field with a new agency. Who is the author? What is the work? What constituent text, particularly in environment in which any text is readily and writtenly by potential anyone. Then our second key point is comparative data studies. And so in that we can see that Lev Manvos and Noah Wardrip Fluent, the field of culture analysis has emerged over the past 5 years to bring the tool of high and computational analysis and data visualizing to discrete large scale culture data set. It's also include historical data. And then we can see that comparative data study allows us to use the computational tool of cultural of analytic to enhance literary scholarship precisely by creating model visualization uh, map and data that are simply too large to read or comprehend using unaided human faculties. And then, as Jerome and McGann argues with regard to the first in his elegant analysis of radiant textualize the differences between the codex and the electronic version of the Oxford English dictionaries. Then the data of comparative data studies is constantly expanding in the term of volume data type production and reception platform and analytic strategies. Then last and third point is about comparative authorship and platform study. So the barriers for voicing, participating, creating, and sharing content, and even developing software have been significantly lowered when compared to the world of print. Collaborative authorship, peer-to-peer sharing of content, and crowd source evaluating of data, and the hallmark of of participantly web known as the world of web 2.0. Then we can see that James Boyle point out there are many corporate entries either to regulate the public dominant and control the common of the mind. For Boyle, the real danger is not unauthorized file sharing, but field sharing. In fact, this was one of the central argument of the Digital Humanities Manifesto, which sought to perform collaborative authorship by utilizing the blogging engine and comment press. And then scholars such as M.C. Kenzie, Wark, and Catherine Patrick have even published early version of their entire book on comment press. Crowdsource evaluation of scholar argument have already transformed authorship and conventionally knowledge platform. Now we will see the conclusion. So in conclusion, we can see that to data, it has more than 3 million content pages, more than 300 million edits, over 10 million registered user, and article in 47 languages. This is massive achievement for 8 years of work. Wikipedia represent a dynamic, flexible, and open-ended network for knowledge creation and distributing that underscore process, collaboration, access interactively and creatively with a editing model and and various system that document every contingent decision made by every contributing author. At this moment in its short life, Wikipedia is already the most comprehensive, representative, and pervasive participatory platform for knowledge production, even created by humankind. In my opinion, that is worth some pause and reflection, perhaps even by scholar in further disciplinary incarnation of comparative literature. Okay, thank you.